Hello, hello. Good afternoon, good evening. This is Kenny Rockman, author and founder of the Child Support Hustle. I hope everyone's doing well this evening. I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. Um, Today, I want to discuss why, or I want to discuss uh, parents who work full time or part time and get paid little to nothing after their checks are garnished for child support. And this should have been hi logistics. How are you? Um, this should have stopped in 2017. Um, the garnishments and leaving parents with next to nothing. That should have stopped. And I'm going to talk about that as I get into this. But first, I want to talk about the paycheck stub that I received. And I don't have all the fancy stuff, so I can't put the picture up of the pay stub, but I'm going to put it up to the screen here so you guys can see. Hopefully, I might have to turn this light off. Is that anyway? I don't know if you guys can see it. Well, I'll just tell you. Um, so this father he makes a decent amount of money, $20.96 an hour. So his total compensation for 80 hours was 1677. Um, After Social Security and all that kind of stuff, he came home. I mean, with all those first refunds, uh, I'm sorry, withholdings, it was 1303. The child support was $770.83, and then there was another fee, probably for processing, for $1.50. Why? Because they're greedy. Let me turn this down just a little bit. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm just gonna go ahead because they're greedy. And so after all the deductions, and that's the only one that he had. He just had one deduction, one child support deduction. The rest was for medical, dental, vision. He has a 401k, a loan he's paying back for 43 and some change, union dues $21, and something else for $200. So his take home pay, you guys, was $241.56. Okay. After he'd worked. And so he's in Long Beach, California. And California is expensive. Everybody knows that, or if you don't know, I'm here to tell you California is expensive. So I did a cost of living. I went and looked the cost of living out there just to, give a perspective here. So the median salary in Long Beach is $50,028. So for this parent, of course, $20 an hour is not a bad salary, um, a bad wage, per hour. But hold on one second. Uh, of course, it's not going. It's going to take forever to come up. I'm sorry, guys. I always have some kind of glitch or something going on. But I hope everybody's doing well. It is hot today in Texas. We had tornadoes last week, I want to say this past week, and now it's like 90 degrees, so it's crazy. And the tornado did some damage too. No, I said I don't have any connection. Well, I'm gonna wait for that to come up. So I'll skip that, and I will talk about why they changed when they changed the law in 2017. They're supposed to make sure that child support orders leave enough money so that the paying parent has enough to provide for their basic needs. And this is in the guidelines 302.56. And it says guidelines must provide that the child support order is based on the non-custodial parent's earnings, income, and other evidence of ability to pay. That and this is the second bullet point, and I put the link to this in the description. So they have to take into consideration the basic substance, I can never say this word, subsistence needs of the non-custodial parent who has a limited ability to pay by incorporating low income adjustments such as self-support reserve and some other method. So maybe that when the order was set, maybe he was not this this guideline hadn't already been passed, but it should be in effect now for this parent, because there's no, I don't care really where he lives, you can't expect somebody to pay or live on $240 a month. I mean, that's just crazy. And then you go to a place like California that, I mean, a tank of gas is ridiculous. I can't even. I might have to go out and come back in, guys. Let me see. And I don't like to edit, so if y'all bear with me just for a second. I should be used to my computers and stuff, and all this stuff messing with me when I try to share this information, because it happens damn time. Oh, you know what? I could pull it up on my tablet. Problem solved. Here we go. So, thanks for being patient. So, I did the number for this father's salary. Now, the cost of living, the median over there in Long Beach is 50,000. His annual salary is 40,000 and some change. So he already doesn't make enough, right? So the groceries alone, and this is for the food costs. This is for bread, a dozen eggs, a gallon of milk, a 12-inch pizza, and McDonald's. So about $50. But he's only bringing home 200 a pay, 250. The rent there for a 2-bedroom apartment. So if he wants his child to come over and spend the night, he has to have another place for him to sleep. The rent there is $28.20. So we can already tell that this father is not going to have a place to sleep. If he's probably living on somebody's couch or living at his mom's house, or you know, he can't afford, just based on his paycheck stuff, he can't afford to live anywhere. If he does have a home, the prices for the homes there are $827,000, $827,579. That's for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The gas per gallon is $3.70. What is this? Because I know that gas has to be higher than that. I mean, this is just for that's $3,000 a month. And he's only child support. Okay, so I'm getting frustrated. Let me see. You filed for termination of the child support order, logistics. Okay, so this father is left with, like I said, $250 about. So what is he supposed to do for the rest of the month? Nothing. The child support system would rather have, the government would rather have the paying parent, the father, on the street, homeless and hungry, working for nothing, which is modern day slavery. If you're working 80 hours a pay and bringing home this kind of money, then that means you're working for nothing. So we want to do the math for the 700 and some odd dollars that he's paying per check. That comes out to 1541 and some change per month, which is $18,499 a year. That's tax-free money and child support going to the receiving or the custodial parent. That's money that is tax-free. They don't have to work for it. The receiving parent does not have to work for that money. So they can sit there. People make $18,000 at, a minimum wage job some places. So if you take this child support and then take maybe TANF or food stamps or public housing and stuff like that, you can get by quite comfortably, while the non-custodial parent may be sleeping in their car if they're fortunate enough to have a car. So you calculate that over 18 years, you're looking at, are y'all ready for this? $332,998.56. That's what this parent will be paying over the course of 18 years. Now, I haven't included interest or anything, or these fees or anything like that. That's with him paying $1541 a month. If we want to go 21 years, if the child goes to college, which a lot of states they make the parent pay while the child goes to college, which is unconstitutional, because if you think about it, married parents are not forced to pay for their adult children's college tuition or while they go to college. So why should unmarried parents have to pay? But if they're forced to pay for 21 years, that's a total of $388,498.32. That's tax-free for the custodial parent. They don't have to work. But on the other hand, this custodial parent, the non-custodial parent, is up here busting their ass. And if they should lose their job for whatever reason, like the pandemic, they did not stop payments. They did not do anything to say that parents got a break or, were able to pause payments like they did for everything else. Parents were still required to make those payments in full or face penalties. And so many people said, and I put this video up where the lawyer out of Michigan, the kids still got to eat and all that kind of stuff. Well, yes, but the defining line between that is there are government programs that are in place when children need food. Even the custodial parent, they can go and apply for SNAP benefits. They can go and apply for cash benefits. There was emergency money. There was tax credits. There was money galore. There was so much money that was available if custodial parents didn't have money to feed or clothe or house children. But you have a paying parent like this father out in Long Beach. And I'm sure he was shut down too. Everybody was shut down. There was nothing. There was nothing available. There was debt and more debt and a hard time for these paying parents. And I don't know about a lot of y'all, but me, if I was working my ass off and came home with a paycheck like that, I'm quitting. And I have to go do my time. But that's just me. I'm surprised that more people, because this is not isolated. Y'all see them online every now and then. Here's a paycheck stub. Here's $300. Somebody's getting $400. Somebody's getting this one $200, $250. Like the thought of it, and this is after working. This is I'm looking at the like this dude clocked in, worked, all that stuff. So that should make everybody say like, what are we doing here as a country? And so I'll talk about like the TANF benefits and those benefits that are available. So the the welfare reform and everything like that happened, and people got kicked off welfare. Child support needed to be paid. They went after the non-custodial parent, but we are still paying taxes for welfare, but that money is not going out to the families like it used to. So the states are still collecting our taxes and hoarding that money. So this dad can't go down there and get any benefits, even though those programs are supposed to be available. The mom, if she's on TANF, she won't get the 700 and some odd dollars in child support. California passes through, are y'all ready for this? $50 to families that receive TANF benefits. 50 funky ass dollars if you're on welfare in that state. And that's if you have 2 or 6 kids. It's 50. And some states won't even pay that much. So if you are watching this and you're a custodial parent, a mother, and the father's saying, I'm paying my child support and it's supposed to be $500, and you're not getting any money, or you're getting like $50, and you're saying, where's the rest of the money? The state is taking it. The state's keeping it. So if you're in California and that's happening, and your child's father is paying $1,500 a month, and you're getting $100, that's why California's keeping it. And then on top of that money that they get TANF, the block grant money. And in 2020, California, in every state, they get, let me make sure I get this right, 16, I have to look at that number, but they divide it. But I'll get back to you on how much the block grant is for the state. I'm scared to get off of the screen because I don't want to be locked out. So in 2020, California received the block grant from the federal government, in which they spent 5%. I'm gonna have to go find it. 5% on work support and supportive services, 0% on, or $0 on tax credits, 0 on pre-K and Head Start, 0 on child welfare, and 10% on other services. Oh, it's not here. Okay. They were awarded the block grant of $3.6 billion. So that's just a section, a little piece, a little sliver of what they spend on the needy and the people that need it the most. But they'll have this father, they'll wax him and leave him with nothing. And if he doesn't pay, he'll be a deadbeat. They'll have a warrant out for his arrest. They'll take his license. They'll punish him to the fullest extent of the law. But they have all of this damn money, $3.6 billion they got in 2020, and didn't even pay a cent for welfare, like 0.1%, 0 for pre-K, for benefits that are supposed to help uplift the community, the family. This is what they say. This is to help families become self-sufficient. but they are, or parent, or help the community, help people become self-sufficient, but they'll take this father's whole damn paycheck and leave him with less than $300 to live for 2 more weeks. And it costs $3,000 to rent an apartment in Long Beach. And they tell you this child support, this is for the best interest of the child and the family. And California, they've accumulated, and every state does this, they accumulate this TANF block grant money. This is our taxpayer dollars, our money that they sit up there and hoard and keep it for a rainy day. California in 2020 reported $101 million in unspent TANF block grant funds that they just have sitting there. But they are waxing these parents, because they're not only taking from the non-custodial parent and leaving them with nothing. If you're on TANF, they're keeping that money, 101 million in 2020, and paying out nothing. They're not spending what they spent 302 million of the billions on work activities, work support. So they're not helping you try to get a job. They're not helping you do anything. They're not helping do anything. And the worst part about it is they're not supposed to do it. This is when in 2013, 2012, 2013, and this was what I'm reading from the final rule. They said that this should have been implemented, like them going back and making sure the child support orders matched the income that parents had. They couldn't impute income anymore like they were doing. Imputing meaning if you went to get a child support order or you had child support against you and you didn't have a job, they would go and just pick a number that you're supposed to be making out of thin air. And, oh, you're supposed to be making $30,000 a year. And that's how they would set your child support. Well, they had to stop doing that. And that should have happened in 2016. They have plenty of time. And they still are getting away with violating. These are their guidelines. And notice I don't say laws. These are not laws. These are guidelines. And they can't even follow this shit. And nobody's saying anything, because guess why? They get 100 billion, 100 million. They sitting on stacks on top of stacks on top of stacks of money. And then don't even forget about the money they get when they lock somebody up or they take somebody's license and they charge fees, reinstatements, and all that kind of stuff. And when they charge you for your room and board and your food and all that kind of shit. Man, this is a money making machine, child support. And then they leave this father and other fathers with $250 to live on. And I don't care if you support this system and you're saying, oh, he need to pay his child support. Everybody take care of your kids. Nobody is saying anything different. But if you can sit up here and say that somebody deserves to work 80 hours plus a week and not make enough money to bring home and eat, or be able to provide a roof over their head, transportation, or just basic their basic needs because they have a child, something is wrong with you. Which one was it? So he shouldn't be able to pay anything. You just have to put it on the record. It's all in the words. But I mean, this right here is just, you don't leave. Really, they're not only supposed to take no more than 65% and then 5%. We know that on the garnishment rules, just on the garnishments, right? But they're not supposed to leave you with money with not enough to live on. I mean, not enough to live on. They're not supposed to do that. Period. And what I'm talking about this the final rule where I'm getting this information from. I have the link in the description. Oh, thank you, MTG. Thanks for being here. Yeah, don't sign shit. Don't sign anything from child support when they send it to you. Don't sign anything. Don't give them jurisdiction over you. Because when you think about it, when the mother goes down there, and this is for unmarried parents on the Title 4D, it's all Title 4D. But then you have a welfare case and you have a non-welfare case. And what they're trying to do is switch it over from a, a from a welfare recovery program to a non-welfare recovery program. They're trying to mesh the two, so it's not a welfare recovery program like it is now. So it's hard for me to explain, but they're just trying to make it where it's mandated. If you're on welfare, they're trying to I'm gonna do a video about it. I can't word it the way I want to word it on this video because y'all know I like to have notes and shit. I like to have stuff so I can say, well, this is what it says, and y'all can go look at it, and I can't do it just off the top of my head. Okay, forced labor laws, Declaration of Rights and Color Law. There is no money. Oh, did you win your case, Glenn? Oh. Oh, okay. So they're getting into something else, um, which I'm not. I'm going to remove. I'm gonna remove because I'm not gonna put that on here. I don't subscribe, and I have not myself um, did that with the maritime and stuff like that, so I can't co-sign that. So I'm not going to put that on here. If that's something that you're interested in, then you can go and Google that, but not over here. I can't vet that. I haven't. Hold on, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't if it's not something that I personally know about or that I've worked on, I'm not going to I can't co-sign it. But there's all kind of stuff on there. Like you can go and look it up. Feel free. I don't yeah, I don't want people to be over here and think that because people are in the chat they can go and oh, that's something that I subscribe to. I no. So that's what I want to talk about. The links are in the description. I'll put the if anybody's interested to see the which I'm sure y'all not because y'all probably see it yourself. Right. Don't sign anything. So that's my video for tonight. I'm sorry I got off at a rocky start, and I'm sorry I got sidetracked in the chat. Y'all probably wouldn't be surprised, but I get all the time people saying, like, excuse me, because there's so many different approaches to the child support system. You have, different ways that people have dealt with it. And my thing is, whatever you do and works for you or worked for you, then have at it. But here is what works for me. You know what I'm saying? What I personally went through, my experience, and how I've worked with other parents, how I've helped with their cases, how I've gotten arrears erased, and all that kind of stuff on my experience. When people come with what they've done or how they went through the system, I can't put anything with that because that's not my experience. So of course thank you, Jay. So of course, I'm not knocking anybody's way of doing anything because everybody's situation is different. But I wouldn't come over to somebody else's whatever and say, oh no, that's not the way you do it. You got to do it all like this because I know this is the way that I do it. So I can't say that's not correct in how they do it, you know. But this is the internet. Everybody feel like they can do whatever and say whatever and they're right and everybody's wrong, and this is some wild shit. The internet is wild. And the YouTube street, man, this YouTube stuff is crazy. I thought Facebook was wild. YouTube is out of control. So yeah, I just want to come on and discuss that. And if this is happening to you and you are not being left with enough money after you work to live on, then file for a modification immediately. A downward modification, excuse me, guys. Um, and get that amount changed. Oh, thank you, Frank. Good night. And get that modification. And I would even demand, not even as demand, but if you were out of work or anything, I would demand that they retroactively erase the debt that had accumulated while the pandemic was, while you were off work during the pandemic. And I would fight that. And that's what you have to do because they're going to tell you no. Anything that you try to do in your favor, they're going to tell you no. And if you sign anything, they're going to say they have jurisdiction over you. Just because they have jurisdiction over you and you sign something, but you didn't know about it, that does not mean that you cannot fight. Always fight for your rights. Always fight for your rights. Just, now because you're here, so I'm sure you're learning some different stuff, but not just here but all around. And please be careful of the stuff that you pick up because there's all kind of stuff all over the place. Just be careful giving your money and all that kind of stuff. Contract, do not, just, you don't have to sign anything. You don't have to send them anything. You don't have to send a certified letter. You don't have to send them anything. Yes, it's a lawsuit more than it's a contract. You're talking about if there's already a child support order, Damien. See how people jump all over the place like this. Two different. You talking about a contract? I'm talking. That's not even what this is about. Everybody got, Tell me, Damien. Like I said in another video, you come on here and say it's a contract. I know that. So when you went and sent the certified letter and everything like that, did you get the case closed? That's what we want to know. That's what the people want to know. Did you close your case? I get that all the time on my email. Well, child support is this or that. And I'm like, I wrote a book about it. You telling me something that I knew 10, 15 years ago. I want to hear success stories. You want to hear I check my resume. You over here. I don't need you to tell me anything. And if you got a better way to do it, share it so everybody can win. Like it's not a competition. People are crazy. Did you win? I won my case. All right, y'all. I stayed on here long. I was fiddling and faddling when I first came on here, but I thank y'all for everybody that rocked with me the whole time. I appreciate everybody that has bought my book. If you're interested in getting my book, The Child Support Hustle, it's available at my website, thechildsupporthustle.com. I have a bunch of articles that I've written. Let me see. I'm not on social media anymore for obvious reasons. I can't take it. Um, but if you need to email me about something or you have a question, feel free. CS Hustle, the number one at gmail.com. If you come on here or on Facebook and you have, you coming in talking about some basic shit, child support is a contract or some shit that everybody knows, I'm not going to debate with you. I'm going to block you. If you want to sit up here and talk about some bullshit, I'm blocking you. I don't have time for that. Nobody has time for that. What is the next step? Are you planning a protest? Are you lobbying? What are you doing next? The shit you're talking about has already been talked about. If you're talking about some shit we already did or said, or, I'm not listening to that. Hey, thanks, Johnny. I appreciate, love you back. I'm not, that's not, don't come over here and tell me about some shit that I did 10 years ago. Okay. So yeah, back to what I was saying. If I can help you with your case, if you have a question and you're moving through, like, how do I do this, that, or the other, if I can help you out, um, I'll point you in the right direction. I do not work on individual cases anymore. So I'll try to give you the information or point you in the right direction. I encourage everybody, if you have a complaint with the local agency, to file a complaint with the child support regional office and the federal office of child support enforcement, their office as well. Um, and yeah, fight them back. They're going to always say no, but they work for you. Our tax dollars pay their salary. So, okay. Y'all, thanks for joining me. And fight the power.